Hey guys, my name's Jamin. Thanks so much for visiting my channel. In this video, I have a Lenovo Thinkbook 16. This is going to be the Gen 6 version, the Intel model. I'll show you how to get inside, access your speakers. So first thing guys, power down the computer the correct way. Make sure it's off and unplugged from your charger. We're then going to flip it over to access your bottom case screws. Now you have a total of 9 screws. These 4 along this edge here, these screws actually come out. The rest of the screws, these 3 on top and these 2 in the middle, those screws are going to stay in the bottom case even though they've been unscrewed from the threading. After that, I found it easiest to use my pry tool and start from the back and pry this edge up first and then work my way down the sides towards the front. I recommend a plastic pry tool because metal will tend to scratch this case a bit more. Go all the way around, and if you get stuck in one spot, just leave it, go to the other side, and pry it up from this seam right here. Once you get your bottom case off, this is what you're looking at for the inside of your computer. Now, as a general computer repair side note, guys, whenever I'm working on a computer in my shop, it's sitting on an anti-static mat. Either that or an anti-static bracelet are great ideas to avoid damaging the computer you're working on. If you need any help with any tools or supplies for your computer project, as well as any replacement or upgrade parts for this specific model, Thinkbook 16, there'll be a link above. Also below in the description, it'll take you to a list of all those replacement upgrade parts, as well as the tools and supplies you may need to work on this computer. Now, before touching anything in a computer, you want to at least unplug your battery first. It makes the computer safer to work on when as little power as possible is running through it. So here's your battery right there. It's held in by 5 screws. You got these 3 on top, these 2 near the bottom corners. And after you remove those screws, it plugs into the motherboard right here. Now, as with any cables in a computer, try to avoid pulling on the cables when at all possible. Manipulate just the plug if you can. So this one didn't have very large grips. You can try to use a pair of pliers to grab it, but you may have to grip those wires very, very securely. Try to get as much of your finger on the black plug as you can and gently, slowly wiggle that out to get that out. Okay, so now that the battery has been removed or at least unplugged, it's safe to proceed deeper into the computer. You have this speaker here, this L-shaped speaker on the left of my screen, and it's connected by these wires that run down here to the right speaker on the right side of my screen right there. And this speaker is the one that plugs into the motherboard right here. So these speakers are not actually screwed down, guys. You see these orange rubber washers that just sit over these posts for sound insulation? That's all that's holding them down. So you can just wiggle that speaker off carefully and they come right up. If you are replacing these, make sure that when you put this wire down, make sure you run it exactly how it's seen in your computer. Because remember, the bottom case will snap down on these snaps and screw in here. So if these wires are not in the exact correct place, they could get pinched by your bottom case and it could break them. So just a shout out there, make sure these wires are run correctly. This wire that plugs into the motherboard, you'll see a grip on either side. So you don't have to pull on the wires here. You can use your fingernails or a pry tool and pull that out of the port right there. That is how you access your speakers in this model computer. As a last shout out about this operation, if you're having sound issues in your computer, if the sound is a little dim, if it's not working correctly, you could need to replace your speakers, but it could be something else. Oftentimes it's a driver issue or a software update issue. I'll have a link above, also below in the description. It'll be a video tutorial how to make sure all your drivers are up to date, how to make sure your system is fully updated, so you can rule that out before coming in here to replace your speakers. However, if your speakers, if it's that obvious blown sound where every time your bass kicks in, your speakers just sound like junk, most likely, yeah, your speakers are blown and they need to be replaced. So I hope this video was helpful. That's how you get in safely and access your speakers in the Thinkbook 16. So that's the video, guys. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, check out the FAQs below in the description. It could save you some time getting an answer. If you do need to leave me a question or comment, please do. I do try to get to those a couple times a day at least. To support the channel, please remember to like and share, subscribe if you enjoy this type of DIY tutorials, and for those of you that want to support the channel a little further, you can always leave a small donation, and there's a couple ways to do that. First, right below the video to the right-hand side, you'll see the Super Thanks button. You can click on that. You can select a tip amount here. Second way, you can use your Cash App. Find me at $PC Helper. You can leave a dollar amount, and you can even leave a little note. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video.